So I know it's a little crazy when you're walking around in an attic because you see these bottom cords over there, there's no insulation, so you can still see them. And then over here we get insulation and they're invisible. But when we're walking, our feet are touching it. And we're paying attention with our feet. So my foot just touched this and I heard some cracking. Look at that. All the way up here in the attic. So how extensive is the termite damage? We'll never know until we get all the insulation out of here. Whew. See, it's just unsure about how much damage that is because it looks perfectly fine on the outside. It's not until we start getting on the inside that and touching it that we can feel that it's damaged. So it's hard to say how many are like that until you pull this insulation out of here. You may never know. Let's just try the next one for shits and giggles. All right. Solid. That one's good. It's very random, right? That insulation back. It's very random, and I'm just lucky that I found this one. See, that board was exposed too, but it's solid. So the one that was termite damage was right back here. Right? There's this one. Look at that. That's even termite damage on the top. See how I'm pushing that in? There's a termite tube right here. It starts right there. You guys can see that, right? So there's the front of the house. This is where your water leak is happening, right in this area. Right above it, that's where you got damaged trusses from termites. And no, I'm not going to pull up the insulation at every one of these trusses. At this point we know that they're up in the attic, and I'm not going to be able to see everything until we get the insulation out of here. But really, when you have attic damage in your termite damage in your attic like this, a little bit of water staining up on the roof surface, a little bit more by the HVAC system. See, this thing it's cracked out. You know, we don't want to be over dramatic about things. It's solid. Is there a crack in it? Yeah. Well, it's not really broke. It's more like split. So it's not really a red flag in our book. Not that it isn't something to pay attention to, but it's not a major problem right now. If we called out every crack, we'd never sell a house. So again, I'm feeling with my feet, seeing what makes a noise, if anything. No crunchiness right here anyway. Alright, so this is over the garage. We know we had some termite tubes over on this wall going upwards, but because it was a brick wall, I don't think they ever got up. bit of a crack on that truss. Alright, you can see that's that sap I'm telling you about when it gets super hot up here in the attic and this old wood just sweats. Pretty cool looking actually. But that can be mistaken for termite tubes trying to stick out. See how it just comes out the bottom of the wood there? It's kind of the same thing that termites do when they're trying to plug up their tunnel. Yeah, a little bit of water damage around that plumbing jack. Plumbing vent. Now this goes down into a wall cavity here that's not being used right now. At least we can get a look down there and see if there's any termite action. Looks pretty clean. Alright, back to the hatch. So, areas of concern today. Ventilation, I think, could be improved upon a little bit with soft ventilation. I'm alright with gable and turbines, but you know, this is a inadequately vented attic space to begin with, so you got to think about how you're going to get cool air from the bottom to push out the hot air at the top, and not just hot air at the top getting out. You need something to push that cold air out. But our termite damage is right back there. Here's the hatch. It's right back in that corner above where the water heater is. Termite damage. Big time concern. I would get somebody in here to give you some estimates for repairs. And because it's up in the structure, you're probably going to need a structural engineer as well.